Recording. How about that? We had a false start, but this is Racing Rant's preview of Randwick tomorrow. Yeah. And Glenn has a very big announcement.
Part two almost.
Where was a little ball?
We've been going for 10 minutes. We just bought a new remote and didn't know how to click the buttons.
It's like our worst nightmare too, isn't it?
No, the worst nightmare is to do a whole show.
Yeah.
No, well, that just means it won't be a show that day. Anyway, massive announcement, guys. I've got a massive announcement. Racing Rant people, guaranteed. It'll be on the rant, all the details. We're having a poker tournament, $150 million in prize money, the guaranteed $100 million to the winner.
That's not Mount Everest, that's the moon.
It's the biggest. Why you guys don't believe me? I don't know. It's $100 million to the winner.
Yeah. And you're running the tournament?
I'm running the tournament.
Oh, okay, so this is an idea.
Look, it's a tournament. Yeah. Okay. And it's limited.
And is this American dollars or some sort of obscure country?
Australian dollars, 150 million. There's only limited to a field of 60 players, so that's not bad. That gives you a good chance. Why are you laughing?
2.5 million entry.
So, don't be ridiculous. It's 150 million. As if it would be $2.5 million entry. How would it be that?
Well, you said 150 million prize money.
Yeah.
60 runners.
So then there's nothing for us.
Oh God!
Is there something wrong with you?
Oh God! So we're going to pop it up by another 10%, do we? Yeah.
It's limited to a field of 60, but we definitely need 51 runners for the tournament to go ahead. But it's just huge. It's bigger than Everest. It's the moon.
Fantastic, and you'll hear more on the rant on Monday. Meanwhile, we've got a program.
$3 million volume.
Program at Randwick to talk about.
I'm just trying to take the piss about the.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Look, Randwick tomorrow. We've got Canterbury to get through tonight before Randwick, and that's stolen half our 2-year-old field. But nonetheless, on a 6-metre rail, we've got a juicy card because there's plenty of resumers, plenty of Walla, which we're still
plenty of top horses.
Still, like a lot of the best horses in the race, I think, are Walla horses, and I don't know how to handle it. So,
best horse on the card right now tomorrow is that Coming Through. It's a top horse, and how do we handle him? How do we think? How does he go forward? What's the story? How's he going to look?
You're going to tell us,
parade,
if you don't tell us today, you'll tell us tomorrow.
Absolutely, I'll be telling you tomorrow.
Rail at 6, which is a little bit wide for comfort there, and Randwick has been rather. Well, if it hasn't been forgiving for inside, they've let it be forgiving for inside. Like how a horse, it's a talented horse, Samantha, but way to go, drew gate 1 in that race as well. It's like, if it's off the fence, they ride so that the inside is there.
Gets ticks.
Yeah, so I think, they have overplayed it a bit, but what you really want is you want a track that looks fair, and so they don't ride wide, and then,
you can swoop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when it is inside off, inside gets a tick. Because everything goes left and you're racing 5 off the fence. It's a bit like the Gary Clark theory with the barriers. How they move the barriers out. You've got barrier 1, you come out in barrier 7.
Yeah, and there's no consistency on that.
And there's no consistency, they move it around like it's nothing.
They don't care.
Okay.
Right, 6 runners in a 2,000 metre race. Gordon Obet race 1, and $3 favourite Montauk, $4.40 the impressive last start Bathurst winner Gold Ambition, $6 is Vassal, $6.50 Chalmonese, $7 more than Fabulous, who's reserved for tomorrow, and $7.50 King's Officer. Gold Ambition goes up to the 2,000 and looks to take it up. Chalmonese is on speed, more than Fabulous, will be ridden similarly to last time. Montauk will be looking for
cover.
Yeah, King's Officer could race handier than you think there, up in distance, and Vassal looks to go out the back.
And it is you're on the first race. We've got 6 runners here over 2,000 metres. Gold Ambition, how do we handle it? We did 2 runs ago, we wanted to take $2.20 against Religify, and then you look at the. First let's talk about the run at Bathurst. It was nominated, when you put the SP profile at worst ride of the year. Far too slow.
Yeah, far too slow.
Far too slow. Jay Ford, he thought, well, I'm on the best horse here, and he nearly out-tricked himself. We didn't get to see the photo finish, and we had to trust Cole, who had no idea what was going on, and Halberd looked to basically nearly get him, but it's just terrible form. This horse is just a dead set ant, but it still gets.
Well, it's there, but its distance form is pretty minor. I mean, I realise it ran around the Rosehill Guineas, the Packer Plate, the Spring Champion Stakes, blah blah blah. But it you know, once it got beyond a mile, it failed.
Well, it's clearly A, isn't it, Montauk? It's just what price is a betting price.
I know, but it's a classic A, isn't it? It's an A that's, you know, running beautifully, going
Raced a
well,
week
but
ago.
you know, like Dead Set had every chance.
Does it have a chink? Is it a puff, or did it just get badly glinned at last start? Was Glynn just too good?
I'm going glinned.
I think it might have been glinned because
Yeah,
they
it's got
run
a great chance here, and look, people will point out that it had a terrible record at Rosehill prior to last week.
Okay. Well, it's clearly A. Okay. So what price do we take A? Do we take 270 or do we take 320? I suppose we definitely would say 320 is fair. 270 seems SP.
I'm going to be betting. I'm going to back him on to it. I don't very often bet in distance races,
you've
but
just-
after Red Viking on
I know why
Wednesday,
you've done
I
this.
just-
That's right.
You've gone-
He's come good with the stayers.
You've gone
Everything's-
cross Gold Ambition.
Yep.
You've gone cross More Than Fabulous. It never wins. You've gone Wallet Train 6. Shao Mazar is Shao Mazar, goes round all the time.
Yep.
And you've said King's Officer, whilst up in distance, doesn't look its style of race.
No, and obviously would prefer a wet track too. So.
Okay, you're tipping. You're back in Montauk. I'm tipping Montauk. Big deal. We're tipping that. We're all going to be tipping the first favourite.
And I'm tipping Shalmaneser. Like the last 3 starts since he had the gear change,
Yes.
he's put in every time.
Third
I
to
know
Red
he's got to
Simon.
come back from 2400.
Yeah.
That's not ideal,
It's not ideal.
but he's a genuine horse that will be on the speed and keep trying.
So are you tipping 4 from him or him?
I'm tipping 5 from 4.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to race 2, boys, because that was pretty boring talking even going about that fucking race.
What are you talking about? Look,
It was on the back of my $150 million poker tournament.
oh, that's why it was boring.
You know the only people that will be able to go in that tournament? The breeders. The breeders. You'll have to advertise.
The
it.
breeders
Owners-
A
no, no,
$3
not-
million
not-
buy-in for the tournament.
Not just breeders, stallion owners.
Stallion
And
owners.
do you
and
know where we're
breeders.
having this tournament?
Sco?
In the park.
In the park. Oh, okay. I
Already
thought-
got the tents on hire. Subject.
You're keeping running costs down, are you?
People,
Fuck you
people
guys, I
actually
am.
won't care if you can win 150 million. They won't care if they don't get their
Yeah.
free bloody.
It's $100 million to the winner.
You've
What's
to pay,
wrong with you?
You've got to pay $3 million to go in it.
Yeah, I can't help the details of the entry fees.
I think you might be reducing the number of
ATC
takers.
have put on a race where you've got to pay $600,000 to get in. That's the whole vibe of it. Don't you get it?
Yes, I
Talking
do.
quickly about Everest, have you read the conditions? Or do we know the conditions yet? It's $600,000 to nominate your horse, and if your horse doesn't make it, you can sell.
Or
So-
you can transfer or whatever.
And it's 12 runners.
14?
I think it's 12.
Right.
So they're collecting 7.2 million and giving away $10 million.
What good fellows.
What's to stop? Is it any horse?
Any horse.
No, but you're assuming that only 12 will pay. See, more could pay and they mightn't have another bidder to buy their share off them, and then
Yeah.
they can stick that in their kicker as well.
True enough.
I was thinking, why don't we see someone like Jelko or Dr. Nick buy the 12 spots today? For $7.2 million.
Because more people can buy it, that's the problem.
Can they?
I'm sure they can.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Sure
can.
they
Yeah.
I'm sure they can't.
You want to do the old Keno thing that Jelko did you? That's
Why
your
wouldn't
angle.
he? And how great would it be if they then bought 12 like $2,000 Class 1 maidens all going round for the greatest race?
Now that
in
would be good.
You know, we're like,
Hey,
oh,
one
mate.
horse race.
And
one
then
horse race.
instead of putting the dirty, filthy Shin and Schofield all getting their 5%, old 12 old mates out in the bush, put them on a retainer for $2,000 a ride.
Oh, and take that too.
Yeah, take the ride and go, well, you got to get your jocos, John. You got to keep earning. You've got staff to pay. Oh, it never stops thinking, my brain.
So yeah, you're going to be struggling to get into betting mode here, Glenn.
Oh, I won't be stuck in the betting mode.
The Lonhro is race 2 and Eden Rock is favourite, not as short this time, $3.60. Veronil, I should say that we're going to lose $15 Mossman Gorge,
Yep.
$16 Molten and $12 The Man. Anyway, but at the moment the market reads $3.60 Eden Rock, $4.20 Veronillo, $7 Exceeds, $8.50 Taking Aim, $11 Cuba, reserved for this race, $16 Lights, 21 Ace High. Now, I thought...
Just going to jump in there. It just Exceeds jumps off the page. I know the only thing it's got is the big SP last start, but it jumps off the right page of being at $8 for horses. Last start went on the track, same sort of conditions. third up tomorrow, fitter, perfectly drawn out dollar. Isn't he just going to win again, this horse?
It was 1,000, Glenn. It was
Tomorrow's
1,000.
1,100?
Yeah, they're different distances.
Yeah, fair enough. Did charge for the line.
I thought that Eden Rock would be very positive tomorrow. I'm having trouble with T Berry at the moment, but I think that he will be very positive. You know, like he sat there and wandered about from a 1 out 1 back position. Tomorrow at the 1100 with the winkers on, it's going to be game on.
Well, you know what? He always gets it wrong, but because when you've got a wide barrier, the advantage to getting to the front is the fact that you can take your time.
Look, I'm merely asserting how the race is going to run.
Is there 2 T-Berries? I shouldn't crack a twin joke.
I reckon there's only one.
Well, I get the cards on Tuesday night. They go, I hear about to jump in a $10 million race in Hong Kong. T-Berry. Down the middle of the track. Perfect timing, perfect ride. T-Berry.
That's his go, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is there a T-Berry that lives over there as well? Is there 2 T-Berries?
Yeah.
Yes, there is. There's the T-Barry that you back and you get beat on. You lose your money. And there's the T-Berry that wins the big races in Hong Kong.
I've never seen anything like this kid in Hong Kong. He's an absolute freak. He's a superstar over there. They would just think he's a superstar.
I know, but what explains it?
Chinese food? I don't know. Asian food?
We don't have to do 3 parts here.
Well, too long.
Yeah.
I do apologise.
Okay. Anyway, look, I'm going to start this race. Number 1, Veronello, is my on-top selection here. Just did the job in. It was a gutsy debut win. Resumes in its second prep. James Doyle looks perfect. I respect Eden Rock. I liked what Taking Aim did the other day, and obviously exceeds as the other runner. I couldn't have the.
Over the years, Mike, you've often said to us, though, like Rosehill form for young horses is Rosehill form, and Ramwick's different.
Yes, well, I particularly like 1100 metres. I'm very focused on distance at the moment, Glenn.
Okay. Well, as you can see here, I wrote MYM because I'm interested a lot in the 1. Obviously, 4 can go forward. Slightly interested in the maturity of number 5 here, even though it's got the Jim and Greg Lee little tag of disapproval. And obviously, the bottom one, I'm manning up mail there for me, boys. I'm saying exceeds over the odds.
I wrote a little article on the site so that everybody's got my opinion on this particular race, but
Oh, you saw it, did you?
I
always go to the RAND and have a little look at what's going on.
3 taking.
Don't buy anything, do you?
Well, I haven't got any assets in life. I've got 40.
I was sure you were going to find 3.
Who was it?
Glenn Schofield off for H. Bowman on.
Well, I'm interested in it too.
Yeah. And it's decent price.
And reserve for tomorrow.
And that was a period of bad Glenn, even though he's since died. And it's just good
Glenn.
superstar Glenn. It's just superstar Glenn for the rest of our lives. Yeah. Let's get to the little bit of boredom of race 3.
Right. Race 3 is one of those ho-hum races again. $3 Religify, $3.70 Strawberry Boy, $4.20 Gold Symphony. He's another of the gold money munchers, I think. $6.50 is Tester Shadow, $11 Song and Laughter, $13 Allergic, $51 the Grafton Cup winner.
Can I just jump in? I know the show's going too long, but can I just jump in? We had a go at RaceNet and this wonderful form guide they produce, which we all get for free, and we love it, love it, love it. And they've been tinkering around, changing it, driving us all completely mad, gone back to the original. And now, I don't know what's going in there, boys, but all these spaces between runs means you get 1 horse on a page. So your regulation Ramwick printout, which used to be 34 or 36 pages, is now 69 pages. Now, I don't know much about anything, but I'm slowly going broke, and an extra 35 pages per race mean is going to kill me.
Are you bubble jet or laser? Your printer?
I don't know, I just hit a button.
You got to get a laser printer. It'll be cheap for you.
Does that mean you don't need
can you read what Gord's got there, Glenn?
That's
It's
too
a lot
small.
smaller. Oh, it's too small. Okay.
It's too small for me. I can't read that.
Okay.
But anyway, look, so whatever you've done in there, you've made a big gap between the runs. Okay, so you've gotten rid of the 21-day spell. We appreciate that, all the punters, but you've still fucked it up. We used to get 3 or 4 horses on a page. Now we're getting 1, sometimes 2. No good, no good, no good. Fix your product. We need it.
If I could sum this race up, look, we've got stablemates to joust for the lead, Strawberry Boy and Religify. I guess Religify will want it. Tester Shadow Posies, but we've got Seawaller, Religify and Strawberry Boy, but we've also got Magic Millions, Strawberry Boy, Tester Shadow, and we've got C Brown, Gate 1 Gold Symphony, $4.20. It's like, it's an ick.
It is ick, but I got to say, he's doing a good job since we're back, Corey.
But how popular is he for, he just flummed the win on Royal Navy, and there, next thing he's
got a good book. He's a marvel, Corey Brown, but he is up against all these other blokes. Oh, see.
Where's T Clark in the race? Like, T Clark is the hot rider at the moment.
Yeah, hot being the operative word.
All right, what are you doing, Glenn?
I didn't know what to think. I tipped 6 on top, and I round to beat number 2 Religious Flows to Genuine Racehorse. That's what I was.
Pretty keen on number 3, Strawberry Boy. If you've noticed, the Waller horses that actually perform follow this particular pattern with the freshen up trial. Was a decent trial which it won. Wasn't given much chance on the Gold Coast, and distance 9 starts for 4 wins.
Okay,
a lot of
enough.
question marks about these other horses. So.
Strawberry Boy, like it's an 8-year-old now. You do get sick of looking at its form and who it is. And
Oh, look, I mean, fuck.
yeah, there it is. Okay, so it was a bit of a yawn race. So race 4, guys. Right, here we go.
Religious 5 for me there. Race 4, 1,000 metres. I love the 1,000 metre races because they are a land unto themselves. $3, 2 to 1, Del Cielo. $6 is a GNC, His Majesty Den Magic. $10 Voilier, $11 Run Sardi, $15 Bullpit, and $23 the other 2 Heart Tester, now with Matthew Smith, had a run for him already, ended the trial subsequently, and $23 Straturbo. Wow, this is amazing to think that you can get such contrasting types as Den Magic and a GNC, both of them 4-year-old mares, at 1,000 metres, and they're both the same price.
One's coming back from 2,000 metres, even though it's only a 91-day spell. And well, really, really interesting little race. Got little His Majesty popping along on the inside there. Is it a 1,000 metre horse now?
Well, I'd say it's definitely an 1,100 metre horse. 1,000 metres, well, it's never run at 1,000 metres.
But you jump out, you hold him up, and he sprints. It's funny little.
1,000
I
metres,
was
1,000
trying
metres.
to, there's a few horses here who haven't done anything over 1,000 metres.
Yeah.
I was trying to go through, well, which would be the types that I think it'd suit, because I sort of wanted to find one of those.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't really make up my mind, and I thought I might wait until Mounting Yard Mail.
Well,
Are you going to be able to spot it, Ben, or not?
I don't. It's a
Well,
funny
you know
little race.
these types.
I know all these horses.
Well, we've got the Victorians to supply the speed here, Bullpit and Run Sardi, and a GNC just camps right on them. It's run a race, a GNC here.
It'll run a race.
It gets run a race.
Right.
And by the way, I mean, loves the distance, but is it classy enough?
Is it good enough?
Yeah.
It's a bit like Del Cielo. Is it good enough?
Well, I ended up putting it on top because I was going to be against it because I thought you haven't proved yourself beating the Spastics that you beat last
Harara
start.
and Oxford Poet, who wasn't right.
Yeah, it came second to bloody Musselbrook, for
And
God's sake, to our Nations. But if
Mr.
you look
Manhattan.
back at its past form, which wasn't over the 1,000 metres, it was running against some decent horses.
Amazingly, Del Cielo and a GNC both ran in the Gosford Guineas last year. GNC set outside the lead at 1,200, and Del Cielo went out the back. I forget who was
So I'm
riding.
saying
He
Del
wasn't
Cielo
happy.
was a horse that had ability, and they were never aware of the fact that it was actually a 1,000 metre horse.
Quite
So
possibly.
maybe
It
it
happens.
can
It
springboard
happens a
at
lot.
And then
You know,
get the
Paul
oth-
Perry discovers so many horses that,
that
look like milers that end up 1,000 metre horses.
Yeah.
You get the other little juicy thing here with the bottom one here, third up, but coming down 6 kilos. Is it good enough? And then you look at A Banks. Just adds a bit of juice to the whole pile.
Well, interestingly, A Banks rode it in its 1,000 metre run behind Anthony Cummings' mare a bit more than 12 months ago.
Nieta, was it? Nieta?
No, the run.
I was sipping His Majesty, guys. I think it's the one that, gets the more than fabulous look here. What I'm saying is just held up, and just dives through and wins.
Is it a bit like chewed up, His Majesty? Like it's had so many recent runs.
It's 1,000 metres, chewed up, 22 days off, possibly. Run second last start to Kuro, mate. 3 to beat 9, I'm just interested in Boiler a little bit, and third, number 5, whoever that was.
Del Cielo.
Del Cielo, that was my
5 and 7 are my standout Quinella.
Who's 7?
A GNC. The designated stamped 1,000 metre horse.
Look, I don't know what price I'm willing to take, but I think
Can't take $3 this. You can't possibly take 2 to 1 Del Cielo.
what about 5 to 2?
You can't take that. You need at least $4, and that's if you like it.
That's the Glenn Pollock pricing there for race 4. Do you want to say
Somewhere
anything else, Gord, or should we...
Oh, no, I'm sweet.
Let's move on to the highway. We love a good highway. Gord loves a highway.
Probably the best highway I've seen.
See? The best I've seen for a while. I agree with that.
And Superstar Bob is our favourite. No, it's not. Clipper is favourite. Its stablemate Superstar Bob, who tipped it out the other day, is $4.40. $5.50 Nick's Vendetta, so they're your 3 place getters from the other day. $7.50 no Robert Thompson tomorrow, Lay Lou. And then we're out to $10 all summer long, resuming a fairly long spell. $15 I Told Georgie, $16 Steel Frost. Anne-Marie Rutley, I'm not sure how she gets a start in the highway from Cobbity. But anyway, designated country somehow.
Where's Cobbity now?
It's Camden.
Okay. Wow.
Like in Sydney.
It's like it's southwestern Sydney.
Because I wasn't sure it was Canberra, because I just knew Canberra's joined in.
Yeah, and that's pretty much they're the runners under 20 to 1 in this race.
Wow, I'm so boring this race. So boring. I was tipping number 6 here. It was all style the other day. Just untapped. Looked to really run through the line like what Bobby did it. To beat the stablemate number 13. How boring am I?
Who did a great job.
Did a great job, and it'll be improved. Big cheer there for RG, our friend. And for third, I thought Robert off number 9, Layla, was good enough for me. Too close.
So yeah, these 3 that ran the placings in the race a fortnight ago are sort of pulling on each other slightly, aren't they?
A little bit.
They're dragging on each other.
And you have to be against 13, don't you?
You have to be against 13. It was the best run in the race.
I know, but 4th up first PREV.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was the best run in the race. So it's like a drag on Superstar Bob. It's a drag on Nick's Vendetta. Lay Lou is the different form. She's the 3-year-old with the different form, and
they do drag each other. Because
they definitely do.
The first horse I've gone away from here is Nick's Vendetta, and we've tipped it every start, man.
Yeah, I know. We're sort of getting a bit sick of it, aren't we?
Fucking sick of it.
Well, it is. It's Grand Rouge, isn't it?
Isn't Superstar Bob all the way here, like third run, lightly raced, 1,000, 1,200 last start, now gets to start the 1,200? Doesn't it just like zip away? Same track, same conditions.
Could easily do.
Doesn't it just zip away?
Could easily do.
There's a few like the regular suspects here. I Told Georgie, Nick Off, and then one down the bottom here.
Good old Tiger by the tail.
Tiger by the tail, their usual suspects.
Well, speaking of usual suspect Nick Off, like we've seen Nick Off in an 1100.
Yeah, I took the hundreds earlier on. Yeah.
Amazing.
Was
Like
he 100 tomorrow?
He was. I think he's in the 51.
Nick Off ran in a midweek race on Australia Day, and worked in the race to pick me up one. Is here on an 9-day backup, and
shouldn't have been 100s.
Yeah.
I had him in the usual suspect range, meaning in the 14 to 25 range.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sick of him there.
Anything else to talk about here, Gord?
No, yes, I found.
Gord, beautiful.
I found what I thought was a moral at long odds, and then I found a few question marks, and I'm still definitely going to be backing it, and that's number 1 all summer long. I reckon this is the best horse in this race by a country mile. When you're competitive against Clearly Innocent, that you've got the rest of this field covered by a space. It runs really well first up. Now let's go the negatives. Barrier 1, Tommy Berry, who I just can never seem to find, and I thought maybe the trial could be a little bit better, but it's not that fantastic a trialer anyway. I think at the price it's an absolutely sensational bet, number 1 all summer long.
Not disagreeing there. And Greg Bennett's giving up training.
Well, it just shows you how much money is in the breeding game.
It does, and that's the end of part 1 of a very interesting poker tournament card at
wait.
Randwick.
100 million to the winner, Mark.